Wasn't able to connect with them. My internet was terrible yesterday. Even my house line went out and everything like that. Just was unfortunate. I mean, you guys saw probably who was watching the live stream that I got disconnected as soon as it started, which hated to see that. But shout out to Randy for keeping it going. Taps, Corinne, amazing video. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you guys go check that out. It's only about 2 hours long. Put the link in the description so you guys can see that. We're going to dive into today's details. And hopefully, I'm able to get back, connected with Randy and Taps one day this week. Because I want to, talk with them and Corinne just to talk about all the OG stuff that's been going on ever since the early days. So, shout out to all of them. Great video. Disappointed wasn't able to catch that, but we're going to be diving into today's live stream, today's details. Give me a minute while I share the screen real quick. We got the Deadbeats. Shout out also to everybody who's holding on to any of Matt Gondek's early drops. The airdrops today are going to be very exciting. I'm only going to be getting one of the airdrops today. I have the Failure of Control, I believe it is. I think these look awesome. I think these have that similar vibe as almost like the Marvel Mighties. I think we could definitely see some kind of gamification with these one day. Now, not anything right away, obviously. I'm not saying this is going to be around the corner next week. We're having a game. But they have mentioned that 3 games are coming. And I wonder if this is going to be, or if these are going to have something to do with one of the games. They do look pretty sweet. This is the common. They're all kind of modeled after his entire team, too. So this is Matt, obviously, himself, with the hat on here. Then we got the uncommon, Ron. I'm going to take this comment off real quick. Hopefully it doesn't, the internet stays with me the whole time today because I'm not sure how it's working right now, but I'm pretty sure it's going smooth. I had to restart the entire router modem, and that seemed to be working right now. So hopefully it keeps up and stays like this. We have the uncommon 6,777 editions, $60. So this is another blind box today, a blind box collectible drop. The common here has 7,777 editions. Then we have the rare, 4,777 editions. So again, a little bit higher, I guess you would say, than some of the other drops, but especially if there's some kind of utility that I'm going to talk a little bit about what Corinne had to say in the video. She talked about how some of these could actually end up being blue chips. Some of these collectibles like the Marvel Mighties, the utility could involve some kind of game. And so I do want to touch on a little bit of that video. So I have it up here saved. We're going to tune into that in just a little bit. But if these are in some kind of game, 4,777 editions for a rare, it may seem like a lot right now, but that won't seem like a lot. The ultra rare, 1,777 editions. This is the most limited rarity of the bunch here. I do like the ultra rare. This is Andy. Then the secret rare. Let's go. This is for all the holders of Matt Gondek. I believe this is for the Failure of Control. And we're going to be seeing another airdrop for anybody who's been holding on to the weapon rack. So this is exciting. I'm going to be getting one of these. So this is going to be awesome. I can definitely see them doing this more often in the future too. I mean, this is a collecting app that's going to reward collectors. So I do see them, airdropping, maybe making some special utility for a lot of the full set holders, especially with the artist collectibles. I think the artist collectibles will probably be the first, kind of like that interoperability. The artist collectibles will be first, just because when you have big licensors, big brands, in order to do like some kind of the utility, some kind of the airdrops, you have to go through a lot of steps, a lot of processes. So things won't get signed off right away for a lot of these big brands, like the utility airdrops and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure the Ecomi team talked about how the bigger brands utility may come a little bit longer term. So we can definitely expect utility from the big brands. It just may be a little bit longer term. Things like that I'm thinking of is like the golden moments from Disney. That may be a longer term utility play, but I think it could be one of the biggest. In the short term, I think a lot of these artist collectibles will provide a lot of utility. Now, 5,000 editions for the secret rare. That's because it's being airdropped. This won't be available for purchase. So that's pretty cool to see. These just have an aesthetic about them that looks pretty sweet looking to me. I think these could be customizable. I don't know if it's going to be, it doesn't look like it's animated. It just looks like it's ready for some kind of game, especially with the descriptions they have here. Talked about how the Aaron Aaron is the backbone of the team, armed with a paint roller and a giant wrench, loves frogs. Special power is reaching up high. One thing, too, that went a little bit unnoticed, a lot of people from the community pointed this out, though. We got FA Nike shoes. That's going to be interesting. Could you see a Nike partnership in the works one day? That would be amazing to see one day. Chasing Sunday is going to be a sick airdrop. Yeah, I'm excited for the airdrop. I'm not to my fort gang. We'll play the market. Yeah, not a bad idea either. I think this one is probably going to be, my price predictions for this one. I think the ultra rare will do fine. I think the ultra rare will still be above retail, maybe, 2x, 3x. I don't know the exact price point. I think the other ones, though, they may take a little bit of time to appreciate in value. I think this is something that's going to be more so for collectors. And I think the collectors could be rewarded one day if there is a game for this. I could definitely see that happening with these collectibles. But now for an investment purpose, I think this one may take a little while. Although if you get a low mint, ultra rare, low mint anything, they could go for a premium. I expect a big catalyst for these would be interoperability. Once we can, send these to different marketplaces and stuff like that, being an artist collectible, we know that's going to be happening soon. And this drop really reminds me of the Marvel Mighties. I'm a big fan of Marvel Mighties, especially just because it's a VeVe exclusive license. And so because of that, I heard Corinne talk a little bit about it that I want to dive into this video just real quick. Not even real quick. Maybe we'll just stay on this video. This is the Taps Randy Corinne video that I was supposed to be part of last night, but I just couldn't connect with him. Unfortunate too, just because the beginning, just started off terrible. It completely froze my screen, so I didn't even realize that we were live. Just a bad intro for me. So, I feel bad about that, but I want to touch on this part because I feel like Corinne made an amazing point right here. Talking about blue chips, this is why I want to replay this, because I know sometimes people may come to VeVe, see other people's collections, see that they got the Superman, the Walt, the Spider-Man, whatever, right? Those big time collectibles. And it can be either inspiring, motivating, or it can kind of be, like, wow, I'll never get there. Why would I even start type mentality? So especially for new users, I want to touch on this part because we're so early in the space. We don't really know exactly 100% guarantee what is a blue chip and what isn't. We all have speculations and we all have ideas and predictions maybe and thoughts, but we don't know for sure. And what she touched on here is huge. So I just want to play this little clip and talk about it because I think it's crucial.
As a whole, not pretty much anything that is coveted by VeVe or dropped in the VeVe app, I feel at the end of the day is going to be a blue chip, whether or not it's a Mighty or it's a Todd. And we don't really know what the utility for each of these are going to be. It could turn out that the Mighties end up being some of the best, collectibles in the app because they're one of the first games or have one of the first worlds in the VeVeverse that nobody anticipated.
Facts.
Or the Murmacornos, it's just, I want to look up blue chip. But for all of you out there that don't have the Supermans and the Todds and all of that, like myself, I just want to kind of send a message that, don't think that your collection or, what you hold is not a value or that you have to be in this particular tier, to consider yourself like a blue chip holder. Because I feel like it's more of what is within you, whatever you believe, is considered valuable or I don't know. Does that make sense at all?
100%, Corinne. Hit the nail on the head with that one. And that's why, I want to touch on that just because, especially last couple of weeks, a couple of people have been asking me, what do I consider blue chips? And I always say it kind of depends. And some people don't like that answer because they say, no, blue chips can't, blue chip is a blue chip. It doesn't matter what people's thoughts are. And I can understand that theory for sure. And that's why a lot of us think what blue chips are, but it's still so early in this space to where we don't know for certain. Like Corinne just touched on, maybe Marvel Mighties, like we're all kind of expecting, is one of the first to have a game, right? So can you only imagine? Try to envision this, right? They announced Marvel Mighties has a game now for it, and you can send these Marvel Mighty collectibles to the platform and you can play maybe it's a play to earn game, right? Can you imagine a play to earn game using the Mighty Marvels? I think a lot of those will turn into blue chips, whether that's the Series 1 Marvel Mighties, whether that's a secret rare Spidey 99 or the Doctor Doom, or there's a lot of great FA characters in there. So I definitely think utility maybe not determines the whole factor of it, but I think utility will maybe change the landscape of what some people may consider a blue chip and maybe what some people don't consider a blue chip. I definitely think that was a huge, crucial point, especially just because the Marvel Mighties are relatively kind of affordable right now, relatively cheap. And so just because it has a cheap price point does not mean it's not valuable. Does not mean it's not a blue chip. A lot of us here, especially everybody that was in that chat, we were here when we saw, the Todd McFarlane Batmans be cheap. When we saw a lot of these collectibles be quote unquote cheap. But once there was demand, once we got more users, we saw what happened and things turned into blue chips. So I definitely like the fact that she touched on that big time, because so many times I hear, Johnny, why would I even start? My collection's not big, or I don't have any of the grails or anything. I don't hear that actually too often, but once in a while you hear that with some people. And I just want to make that clear, especially to new users who tune in all the time, to where it's so early in this space, NFT space, crypto space, digital collecting space. Digital collecting is still seen as, it could be a fad. It's still seen as like not a guarantee thing, digital collecting. It's not digital streaming just yet. We see digital streaming as becoming the norm, the standard. How do you listen to music? Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Pandora, whatever the case is, just digital right now. Obviously, there's still going to be some people that like the physical better than the digital, and it'll probably always be that case. There's going to be some. But once digital collecting becomes the norm, the standard, that's when I feel like a lot of these collectibles will blow people's minds. Before the utility even comes, before these games are involved. We know 3 games are coming for Omi. And so I can only imagine what some of these collectibles are going to be doing in them. Marcos, price prediction. I went over this a little bit. I do think that the ultra rare will do fine. I think if anybody gets the ultra rare, it's definitely going to be a pretty solid one to get. I think the other rarities. Let me see here. The other rarities like the rare, the uncommon, the common here. 7,777 editions. Unless you get that crazy low mint sub 100 or one of the very last ones like 7,777 mint. I could see maybe these other rarities taking a little bit of time to appreciate. Some big catalysts I think that'll happen for these types of collectibles will be interoperability. It's an artist collectible. We know that the artist collectibles will be the first ones to be interoperable. That's going to be huge for these. Start thinking about prices in OMI and ETH for a lot of these collectibles. And the way they come out, some of them come out even under retail if there's not that much demand for some of these artist collectibles at first in the short term. So can you imagine if these were only, $30, $25 in the market? Think of that in ETH prices if you're able to hold on to these for that interoperability. So I do think that short term, some rarities could be opportunities. Because again, I don't believe that everything's going to stay under retail, the ones that do. But it just comes down to how long can you hold, Because you want to probably have some gems on deck ready for some next drops. It's crazy how good my internet is working right now compared to yesterday. Unbelievable. If you guys ever have internet problems or anything like that, just a quick restart of the modem, unplug everything, router, tends to be the trick. Crazy. Last night, even my house line went out for a while. I don't know what was going on. Blue chips can change when gaming or utility is added. 100% agree with this, JBaz25. This is what I was kind of talking about. Corinne hit the nail on the head with that, and that's why I wanted to just kind of reiterate that, because so many times people may not have that Superman, may not have the Walt, and it can kind of be, you hear all the time on Twitter, and it kind of be, you get that FOMO feeling, but just realize, be grateful for what you do have, because you may have some grails in there that just aren't grails to everybody else in the community right now. Like the secret rare Spidey 99. I think that's an amazing Marvel Mighty right there, because it's a Spider-Man one, and Spider-Man is the most popular character, and because it's the most rare one right now. It's an FA of a character. I'm trying to bring him up real quick. Series 1 Marvel Mighties are going to be big long term, I think. Green Goblin, that's one I do have right now. I love Green Goblin. Ghost Spidey, I think, will do great long term. The Fantastic Four, I guarantee you that we're going to see the Fantastic Four released in probably that premium format one day, kind of like how Invisible Woman is right now. But we see the FA be the Mighties. I'm going skip gate today. Skip the drop and pick up in the secondary for below retail. It's not a bad idea, Alex. I do think some of these rarities may, kind of just blows my mind that they still go below retail. But it happens. I think a lot of that's maybe because people are still buying gems. I don't know if people are still buying gems because I think the transfers are gone, but I think you can still buy gems. I'm not sure. You guys know me. I've always been an advocate for not buying gems off an app, just to keep everything legit, keep everything, on the app, make sure, security's there. But we do see a lot of times rarities do go into retail in the short term still. Miss Rose in the building. Shout out to Miss Rose. Glad to see you joining today. Are you going for the drop or are you going to go skip gate today? And are you getting any airdrops today too? Not sure if you held on to any of the previous Matt Gondek drops. Are you more bullish on Omi or the NFTs? Thanks. DJ DS. I'm bullish on both. I think Omi right now is a steal of an opportunity. You can get another mil Omi at like 2K right now. Let's bring up the exact Omi price. So Omi is at 0.002697, 2694. So literally $2,600 can get you basically a mil Omi right now. I think that's an opportunity. I think it'll go down as an opportunity of a lifetime to this day. I think both, Omi right now, maybe just because leaning more Omi than NFTs right now, just because of how low it is. But a lot of these NFTs are low too, to where I think it depends. I think you can't go wrong with both. Omi's probably more liquidable right now until MTL is here for everybody. And if you guys haven't heard the latest interview, AMA with Reese and Taps, Reese did state that MTL is coming. It's just that we're waiting now for the web app to be here, then KYC, and then the MTL. So we are expecting it, coming. That'll make these NFTs liquidable. And I think that's going to be the game changer. A lot of times people, it went from people being afraid of MTL to now people are excited for MTL. Maybe there's short-term dips once it's here for everybody, but I do believe that MTL is going to cause a large amount of money to flow into the app because now people won't be afraid to pull it back out. I still have friends that are afraid to put in $10 for a new drop because they know they can't pull it out right now. So I kind of look at that like OpenSea. OpenSea, a lot of times people get into OpenSea projects not because they love their NFTs, even though they have some great stuff on there. They just have a little bit of everything, so it's kind of hard to decipher for a lot of people. But it's liquidable. So I think a lot of people are into their NFTs, not so much for the quality that's on there, but for the fact that it's liquidable. So you can make some investments. You can kind of gamble a little bit, pick up some NFTs, and then if they do well, you can cash out whenever you want. So I do think that once the NFTs become liquidable, it's going to be a game changer for VeVe. Liquidable, and then once people can buy these NFTs with crypto, with Omi. This is VeVe BC. VeVe before crypto. Yeah, I agree with this, Keja Davis. Yeah, shout out to Ron English too, just because Ron English is an artist from New Jersey. Shout out to New Jersey. Let's go, everybody else from NJ. Stand up one time. East Coast. But yeah, Ron English, I've been a huge fan of a lot of his artwork ever since he dropped on VeVe. That's what's great too. A lot of these artists we may not even have known before VeVe. Then we dive into them, find out things that we may like about some of these artists. Ron English is definitely one that I wish I could have had every single one of his collectibles so far. We're gonna see one of those gold grins from Ron English soon. That's going to be a huge hit, I believe. 1 of 100, I think we heard back in the day. That's going to be crazy. And Matt Gondek too. Yeah, I agree with this. interoperability is going to change everything, because instead of thinking of things in gems and dollars, start thinking about things in OMI and ETH, and that's going to be game changing. Yeah, Ronnie Lighto, good morning. I'm sorry I'm late today. All good, Ronnie. Didn't even know if I was going to be able to stream today. I'm glad we're able to make it happen. Energy in the building. How we doing, fam? I know Energy's going for this set end drop. I'm going skip gate and no airdrop for me. Oh no, Miss Rose. It's all right. I think it'll still do okay, but I think it's probably a solid idea to skip this one if you were thinking about skipping any of the VeVe drops recently. I mean, shout out to Matt Gondek. I love his art. Again, I think people will be blown away at some of these prices once there is a game or utility or more airdrops in the future. You know, I saw Crypto Khaki, you know, shout out to the Todd Fowler, talk about on Twitter the other day, talking about how, you know, this Matt Gondek airdrop may be a little reminder or waker upper for those who skipped the Toby drop, right? Toby's crazy low right now. I just picked up the full set. I got a lot of Tobys for really cheap. Probably if they go back to retail, it'll probably be like a 3x, 4x on some of them. So I just grabbed that just because they're extremely cheap. Had the gems. So I'm getting the airdrop today. Bought a mil of OMI at 0028 last month to the moon. Let's go. Shout out to you for grabbing a mil OMI. I think, you know, this whole year has been a blessing of an opportunity for a lot of people. Skip gate for this one. I've been thinking about it. I am getting the airdrop for this one. So I'm thinking about maybe just going for the drop just to see how quick it sells out, see if I can still get one. I mean, I think I will be able to get one, but I kind of want to just see if it's going to be a quick sellout right away or maybe a couple minutes. I may not confirm this one, your local scalper, but I'm getting the secret rare. I'm getting the, let's take a look. They don't have the secret rare airdrop on the Medium article for the weapon rack holders. But this is the airdrop for everyone who's holding failure of control. Snapshot was taken Friday, April 8th. Looks pretty sweet. Now, in the original drawing Matt had, he was holding the Bard's head. So I'm not sure if that's just like a thing they changed, or maybe it's like animated. He's throwing the head down. I'm not sure, but it looks all connected like some kind of game, doesn't it? With the descriptions and everything. Like if it was a game, this one, the ultra rare, could be throwing the little bombs at people in the game. This one, you know, it's got the machete, it's got the spray paint. Again, I'm pretty sure these are all the accessories in the weapon rack too. There's the wrench. That's the spiked baseball bat. So feels like it's all kind of put together, you know. My new OMI goal is 250 million OMI. Let's go. Let's go, Punch. Those are Randy numbers up there. Shout out to Randy one time. Feels so bad not being able to connect to their live stream the other night. Man, these ducks are great. Little luck. Speaking of artist NFTs, I'm in the David Go NFT Discord, and I'm getting super happy that I made his special list. So far, 13 people out of thousands. Wow. Okay, Ronnie Lighto. I'm not sure who that is, but it looks like a famous person, maybe a famous artist that I'm just not aware of or sure of. But shout out to you, Ronnie Lighto, for grabbing that white list. Looks like extremely hard to get. 13 people out of thousands. I would bet this one sits in the store well after market opening. Maybe, possibly volume 2, Toby volume 2. I mean, I like the artwork on these. Maybe some people like the artwork a little bit better. I'm not sure. I don't think this is going to be one where people will probably end up loading up on the drop and grabbing as many as they can, but maybe so. You never know, right? Going for one drop and grabbing the rest of the market. Love the look of this set. Excuse me, chasing Sundays. That's not a bad idea at all. And I think that's the way to probably play this one. You know, it's definitely weapon rack related. That's fact. Chasing Sundays. I think you have a good understanding of this one. It's gonna be interesting. Could you imagine if it completely surprises us and ends up going for, everything is above retail, then everybody misses out. Sure, that's going to happen. I kind of hope that does happen, just because I never understood why a lot of these go into retail instantly right away. If I was to guess, it's probably because of the whole, people buying gems at like 0.5 and then just selling them at just below retail, so then you still make some profits. But always interesting to see that happen. I'm sure there's going to come a time where that doesn't happen. Matt Gondek is huge, and we are fortunate to have him on the app. That's a fact, Punch. I think that's what happens, so many times that maybe they have a legendary, historic, amazing, famous artist that's dropping on VeVe. And it's just that the VeVe fans right now, they may not have heard that artist or maybe not have been into that artwork. So I feel like that happens a lot. I think it happened with Gary Baseman, I think he's a, famous worldwide artist to where a lot of us may not even have heard of his work. So it's an opportunity for a lot of people to dive into new artists that they never even heard of. And it's also an opportunity for their fan base to come and collect their artwork on a different platform. Absolutely, Garrett. I'm going for it. I mean, come on. We're getting 2 free Secret Rares airdrop. Got to support the guy. Facts. Shout out to Matt Gondek. It's Easter, of course. They won't sell out in seconds. That's a good point, too. Maybe a lot of people are busy today. A lot of people are, spending the time with their families. So that makes sense, too. That's a good point, Jerry. I didn't really think about that. That could definitely be an impact as well. Interesting to see what happens, in the future if they do drop like a big time IP brand on a holiday. It still may be sought after, but maybe not as much just because people are busy, spending the day with their family. It is Easter, so happy Easter out there to everybody. The quality of the Ducks are high. Good morning, Chicago. I want to say Chicago every time I read your name, but it's Chicago, I think it is. Good morning, fam. Last couple seconds, want to go over a couple of prices that just dropped recently. We got only just a couple minutes left before the market closes. Just going to go over the... I was going to go over the ARC, but I think I'm going to go over the collectibles. It just dropped. Kind of want to go over the Batman one. Can't find it in the market. We got the stamps. Stamps are over $40. Good to see that. I was always interested in why the stamps came out at exactly $40. Went down a little bit to like 37, but now it's back up to 44, 45. There's only 325 left. Maybe people are excited that this is like the FA Sports, FA baseball stamp. We got Coca-Cola Starlight. 1 minute before it closes. Okay, the ultra rare Coke can is up to 138. I was going to pick up a couple of these at 115 and I didn't. I wish I did. I think that's a good one. I mean, ultra rare of the first edition Coca-Cola. The other ones are under retail still. The Coca-Cola footprint. Floor price is $19. I grabbed a few of those just because if they get back to retail, that's a 2x. Same with the Coca-Cola Starlight Orb. That's $22, basically half of retail. And the Coca-Cola Starlight can, the common, is $20. I grabbed a few of those as well, too. First edition Coca-Cola. My theory was it gets back to retail. That's a 2x for all of them. Probably going to be interoperable, one of those brands when they do get released. But the first ones that will be interoperable are the artist collectibles. 30-minute warning. I just saw somebody comment, VeVe Viral, OMA Utility Program. That just made me remind myself, the OMA Utility Program is going to be huge. That's a huge catalyst that's coming. We all know about the Master Collector Program, But the OMI utility program is going to be huge too. Think of all the people who have never been introduced to OMI or crypto, right? They had no plans of even buying OMI. What VeVe is going to do, I believe, is convert the average person who's never even heard of OMI or crypto to start using OMI, to start getting into crypto. Think of how many monthly active users we have, right? Whether you believe it or not, there's 2 million monthly active users, right? Just cut that in half. Just say a million for example purposes, right? That's a million people right there. The amount of people that hold OMI in their wallet is a very small number still. So many people, I believe, that will probably, all they have to do is say, okay, this drop is exclusively for OMI only. Or they could have accessories, say, to get the gold Superman cape, it may cost, 100,000 OMI. Well, at that point, people will just buy OMI with their dollars. And so it's going to be a huge way for people to start getting into OMI, I believe. Plus staking with the OMI utility program too. That's going to be huge. Punch, I love your belief, man. People like this, I feel like, Punch, you're going to be remembered just for having the strong belief, the conviction. Because it's easy. I always talk about how it's easy to have that conviction for OMI and for VeVe when things are booming, when prices are skyrocketing, right? When the market's booming, all-time highs, everybody's accounts, all-time high, OMI's doing well. It's easy to be bullish and have conviction. These are the times I love because you get to really find out who has that conviction, who still believes in the team and everything, right? Because when the markets are down, when OMI's down, when maybe we face more delays, maybe more obstacles, that's when you start to find out, who is who, and the character really comes out in people. Because, like I said, it's easy to be all about it when everything's going well, but it's like, what happens when you get punched in the face one time, right? It's like, how do we react then? And so these times are crucial for finding out, who really believes and who's maybe on the cusp, and just people's character, start to really show in times like this. So Punch, appreciate your positivity big time, my man, in times like these. Your belief, conviction, I think motivates and inspires a lot of others too. Punch says it's like this. If you can get one, you are lucky. And I believe in VeVe way more than many. Just trust the process and every artist carefully chosen to be on VeVe. That's the other thing, they're not just choosing random, everyday, artists. They're handpicking these artists to come on their platform. So that's a big deal right there. Interesting. Jerry says the thing with most of the art by the independent artists is that it's very high quality. It's kind of easy to draw superheroes. That's why the industry flourished. Interesting take here, Jerry. I would say you kind of have a point here, but at the same time, it is harder than people think to replicate a lot of these superheroes, especially when you're dealing with these licensors, because these licensors have the final say. They don't want to have, their Superman or their Batman or their Spider-Man to come out and they're not happy with it. I think I think Trevor's even talked about it when he was working on a lot of these collectibles. Going back and forth with the team on, they do this part, send it to the team. How's this look? Okay, we start doing this part. Okay, I think there's a lot of back and forth with the licensors to get a lot of these superheroes, villains, just to make sure that their IP is represented in the most quality way. But I mean, you do have a point to where a lot of these, collectibles from these artists have been made in such a premium way. It's kind of easy to draw. That's why the industry flourished. Trevor's talked about it too. I mean, just to make one of these collectibles, one of these superhero collectibles from one of these top brands, I think costs a lot more than pretty much every 10,000, generic, random, one-of-one NFT project out there. Even to make one of these superheroes costs a lot of money, I believe, to make in that premium 3D augmented reality version. But you may have a point, I mean, with the artist collectibles. In your opinion, which group will become VeVe fanatics? Art collectors or comic book collectors? Ooh, I think both over time. I think art collectors may be a little bit more open-minded first, if that makes sense. Now, that's kind of like a blanket statement. There's going to be exceptions 100%. You're going to probably find some comic book collectors who get into this whole new digital collecting space in VeVe right away. and vice versa with art collectors. But I'm just going to guess here, in complete opinion only, without knowing any kind of facts here, real talk. I'm just going to guess art collectors will become VeVe fanatics first, just because I think art collectors, people who are into art, probably have a little bit more open mind already, just based on what they enjoy already. So I'm going to say, based on that, because a lot of times people are into art, they already kind of think outside the box or into new ideas or open to them. And so I'm going to guess in the short term, art collectors will probably be a little bit more VeVe fanatics first. But I think long term, I think comic collectors, like comic book collectors in the real world, once that ball starts to unravel and really roll down that hill, and you see, first group of comic collectors get in. We've already seen the first group of comic collectors really get in. You have people like Elite Comics who have been in the real world selling physical comics forever now, right? They understood and embraced the whole digital collecting experience on VeVe right away. And I think people like that will start to inspire and motivate and maybe start to open the minds of others who have been a little bit closed-minded at first. I think one thing with the comic book collectors, they love the physical versions. They love being able to hold it, right? Being able to hold that tangible item. But I think the same thing happened with like CDs back in the day, record players, right? In records, people who love music wanted to hold that tangible CD, that tangible record. But over time, that digital music streaming started to become the standard, the norm. Once they realized how much more convenient it was, and once the technology kind of caught up with that, now, like, it was kind of a little bit chunky, a little bit of friction with the MP3 players, right? That was kind of like the first little wave of that. I would say maybe the CD players maybe the first wave of like portable music, but streaming digitally would be like MP3. I would say was the first wave. But now with the iPhones and how great the technology has improved, now we hold millions and millions of phones in our phone digitally. So I think the same thing will happen with collectibles. I mean, we're already seeing it. Just the standard, it becoming the norm, is kind of a slow process. We're in the midst of it right now. So I think both, real talk, to answer this question, but maybe art collectors first. And then once the comic book collectors really start to get into this space, that's when we see a lot of these comics, I believe, go extinct. You won't see, the Marvel Comics #1 in the market for sale anymore. Probably just be able to rent it out at that point. Fantastic Four #1, Fantastic Four #5, Amazing Spider-Man #1. I'm sure Journey into Mystery will be up there. The first wave of comics will be insane. And then after the first wave of comics, I mean, any comic book that has that much demand. Comic collectors, are serious. They're serious collectors and they're passionate collectors. But right now, I think they're just not really into that whole digital collecting space. They don't see it as really a real thing. It's kind of like a fad, which is okay. It's understandable, completely new space. And some of them won't ever change. Just like how in music, some people refuse to this day to listen to, Apple Music or Spotify or any digital music. You'll see them still listen to record players or CD players, whatever the case is, because they just like the physical better. And there's no right or wrong, There's going to be an option for both. Physical collectibles, I don't believe will ever go away. I think it's just a way to promote both of them. Yeah, absolutely. Happy holidays to everybody. I said just happy Easter, but happy holidays to every single person. I'm going to change that in my description. Make sure I include everybody, It's everybody celebrating different holidays. Want to make sure everybody's included there. Both. Yeah, Jerry, I agree. I think you're answering Real Talk's question here about. This is a good question, though. In your opinion, which group will become VeVe fanatics, art collectors, or comic book collectors? I do agree with both. Big Spring, Holy Day. Robin J. Hey, we here, fam. Happy Easter, JD, and everyone. Happy holidays, fam. Happy holidays. Yeah, anytime you work with licensed stuff, you are not allowed to F Marvel's company by putting out crap stuff. Absolutely. I agree with that, Jerry. I will be collecting in the aftermarket. It will be below retail, but don't sleep on these NFTs, though. when Matt gets the green light to make Mickey Mouse, Simpsons, etc. in his art style. I mean, absolutely. The fact that he's able to make these collectibles with Mickey Mouse, Simpsons, and stuff, you know, I mean, he had to get approval for that. This is a good question too. VeVe just tweeted out. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. Somebody said my first airdrop today. Do we have to do anything on the drop, or will it just appear? And VeVe replied with, "It will appear in the coming days." So that's good to know, because people may be thinking, you know, right after this drop. I was kind of thinking too, right after this drop, that it would be in my account. And so it's good that they just put that word out there, because people will probably be emailing them, tweeting them, saying, I don't have my secret rare. It's a rug pull, right? Probably all kinds of stuff. But it's probably just passionate people who want to find out when they're getting their airdrop. But it's good to know that it will be coming out in a couple of days. Also, what else I think is happening in a few days, today's April 17th. In another week, it's going to be April 24th. And then you only have that week left until April 30th, and then it's May 1st. I don't know for sure, but I think that early May, late April will be the end of season 3. I think they did say it. Maybe it was Alex in one of the AMAs. I'm not sure the exact time frame, so I don't want to put that out there, and because I don't know exactly what he said. I think he said a couple weeks so. We could see the end of season 3. And that's when I believe that we're going to see a lot of upgrades to a lot of these collectibles, like the DeLorean. It's going to become drivable. We got the Cleo, the Amelia animation that's going to happen. And I think another Pixar surprise they said too. I'm not positive on Pixar, but I think they said it could be a Pixar upgrade or something like that. We got Superstar Money in the house. How we doing, fam? Superstar Johnny, let's go. Good luck today. Happy Easter. Happy holidays, fam. If you guys aren't following Superstar Money, make sure you guys go check them out on YouTube. You know, quality content VeVe creators out there. I think I will be going for this drop, but I just won't confirm this one. And then pick up the ones I want in the marketplace. I think the ultra rare Nike shoes, F8 Nike shoes, I think that'll be pretty hyped up right away. I should probably test my luck. My luck usually is pretty solid. And I don't know. My luck last couple of days have not been great. I feel like things change all of a sudden. Last couple of days had some bad luck. Internet, all kinds of stuff, but it is what it is. You can only control what you can control. So, Superstar Money in the house. All this stuff on VeVe is pop art, not fine art. Kind of, not quite. So actually, Jerry, I believe the first ever premium artwork, they use the word premium artwork, is the Dragon Girl from the season 1. That's why I love that Dragon Girl. It's the first ever artwork, first ever premium artwork on the VeVe app. But I would say a lot of the decon art is pop art. I don't think every single artwork is pop art though. I think that is a lot of the art right now on VeVe, because that's a lot of the artwork that David is fans of. I mean, David is a fan of pop art. A lot of the artists that we have on here, they're known for their pop art as well too. But I think there's fine art and premium art on the app, and will be coming more to the app. Definitely think one of one artwork will be coming. Just not sure when. This is what I was kind of thinking too, see, Rios. Stuff like this I see happening. It's just we don't know when. It could be another few months from now, right? So I don't want to say rush out there and buy something to where you don't know how long you may hold on. That's why it's important too to collect the things that you do like, because the people that love the failure control, the weapons rack, they're not even really caring about no one's buying it, right? Because they're collecting it. They enjoy it. So this is a collecting app. They will reward collectors, I believe. I've been trying to focus on the things I love, so I don't mind holding it for a long time. It's kind of tough, though, just because there's so many opportunities out there, right? I think that's the tough part a lot of us see, is that we want to collect the things that we love, but we also maybe want to make some investment opportunities, or maybe make some capitalize on some moments. So definitely opportunities out there. I do think that will happen, see, Rios. I'm not sure what the airdrop would be. I do have the sunflowers. I think that poster too, the painting looks amazing. I assume there's some kind of airdrop for that one. That was a special moment in time, I feel like, too. Do you think collectibles or comics will be worth more in the future? That's a tough one. I think it all depends, right? I mean, you're gonna have Holy Grail comics that are gonna be more valuable than some of the collectibles. I think you're gonna have Holy Grail collectibles be valuable than most of the comic books. So I think it depends. Utility I see for these comic books will be, being able to read them. That's a utility that's instilled with them instantly. Being able to read these comic books without having them ruin their grade or anything like that. That's huge. And being able to rent the comic books out in the future, I think that'll be big. But there could be possibly more catalyst, more utility for these collectibles. Meaning, I think you're going to be able to rent out these collectibles just as much. And imagine if some of these collectibles, like we touched on in the beginning, like Corinne was saying last night in the video, the utility of gaming. Imagine if they come out tomorrow and said, all Marvel Mighties will be allowed in the new play to earn game. Oh man, what are the prices of those Marvel Mighties going to be all of a sudden? Because that's a whole new utility that we've never even seen before. Now it's in a game, let alone not just any game, but a play to earn game. Like that could drive up the price, and I think it will drive up the price on a lot of these Marvel Mighties. A lot of these just different collectibles that may have been lower tiered in a lot of people's eyes. The fact that it's a VeVe exclusive license, Marvel created, I think is a huge deal. And that's why I've been huge on those Marvel Mighties, especially the Series 1. But I think even just a popular FA character of the Marvel Mighties in the future, no matter the series, will be big. Oh, this is a good point too, Jerry. No airdrop for the charitable stuff. Maybe that's actually, I never really thought about that. Maybe they won't do the airdrop because all those, the money that was spent, that was like a charity thing. So interesting. But I mean, we've seen Ron English airdrops before, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does happen. Shout out to anyone who was able to get that Ron English airdrop the other day. Facts. I agree, Punch. Thank you, JD. Likewise, we all spoke on this amazing VeVe wheel, and if we hold strong with strong belief, we'll only make this wheel spin faster and outperform the rest. VeVe is number one. Let's go. I agree, Punch. And that's just my opinion too. That VeVe is the number one digital collecting platform in the world. I think it will be for decades to come. Now, I do believe that there's going to be other platforms that pop up, constantly every month from now, probably for the next few years, right? Probably for the next decade, right? It's going to keep happening as digital collecting just becomes the norm. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of projects that do well, succeed. There's going to be a lot that don't succeed. I want every project out there that has to do with digital collecting, NFTs. I want everyone to succeed and do well, because the more people that get into digital collecting, the more people believe in digital collecting. It's like digital music streaming, In the very beginning, if you were into Apple Music, you weren't saying no, Spotify. You wanted everybody to get into digital streaming at first, just because it was a whole new industry. There's still people saying digital music, that's a fad, that won't last, right? So I think the same thing is happening with digital collectibles right now. I truly believe that. Once digital collecting becomes a standard, VeVe becomes a household name. And it's still so early. We're going to have conversations about, remember 3 years ago when we were in season 1, 2, and 3? Like, insane. Season 3 OG, I finished the weapons rack set because I knew it was highly likely that airdrop was coming. And I was right, but I did not see an airdrop for the failure of control, finishing all his sets. Yeah, smart move grabbing that one. It's crazy too. I ended up selling that ultra rare weapons rack, the one I got on the drop too, just because it was something that I didn't absolutely love, and I wanted to use those gems for a couple comic books that I absolutely did want to have in my collection. So I'm okay with that. I'm really glad that they had 2 separate airdrops for just the failure of control and the weapons rack. I think that was a great idea. Shout out to Matt Gondek too, because this wasn't something that just happened spur of the moment because of the VeVe community was, upset. This is something that he said was in the works from day one. So that is good news right there. That shows that they've been thinking about airdrops. They've been thinking about utility since day one. What I think happened though was that they just blew up. So many things, so many catalysts that maybe got paused, delayed. So those things are top priority right now. you know, the MTL, the KYC, the web app, those are, you know, top of the priority list. These airdrops and everything like that, utility, that's still important because it is a collecting app for collectors. But I think some of that stuff may just get pushed back just a tiny bit until we can have a lot of this foundation solidified. Once the foundation is solidified, guys, this is going to be unbelievable. This is going to be truly amazing. Like VeVe has barely even just started. It'd probably still say beta right now. This is basically still beta right now. Insane times we're in right now. Walkman was the big portable music leap. I agree with this, Jerry. So agree with this. Because it really was. It was taking a physical concept and making it portable. And then that led, I think, people to realize, wow, okay, you can take your music collection now anywhere in the world. But now the hurdle was, the obstacle after that innovation was, now you got to carry your whole CD sets with you to put in there, and it scratches, right? How can we make the physical meet the streaming? It was like physical streaming music. That's what that was, really, which is crazy to think about. I love thinking back about the evolution, right, of everything, because we're in the same processes right now. That portable Walkman turned the first little effort or attempt, I believe, probably something before this, but the one that really blew up and went worldwide right after the Walkman and the whole physical CDs, right on track, trying to make the physical music experience portable, take your collection anywhere in the world. But now how do you get rid of the physical stacks of CDs you got to carry around everywhere? Let's make it digital. Digital music streaming. Is it real? Is it going to be a fad? Well, what popped off right away? The Wild Wild West, right? Napster, LimeWire. And that wasn't the only two. There was tons of other of those platforms. The same thing that's happening right now, right? Every day I feel like you see a new platform pop up, which, you know, I want them to win. It's just there's going to be so much of that. It's going to be hard to decipher, you know, which ones are the ones that are going to last over time. Just like back in the day when websites first popped up, I believe. Amazon was in that bunch of websites in the 1990s when everything became a website. Amazon, eBay, those were a couple in that bunch. And we're going to find a couple in the bunch right now that pop up that survive long term. And we're going to find what's the one, what's the mecca that ends up being the one that everybody knows, the next Amazon, right? My personal belief is VeVe. Again, that's just my personal belief. That's a lot of your guys' personal belief too. But the evolution of this whole space is what interests me the most. It went from that Wild Wild West, LimeWire, Napster era to where you had, you know, some real music on there, but you also had videos, you had everything on there, right? Some good, some bad, everything. I look at that as almost like the open sea right now, because you have every NFT on there, right? Everything. You have some good stuff, you know, a lot of great independent artist stuff. You have some quality projects on there, but then you have some bad stuff. You have a little bit of absolutely everything. And so what happened with LimeWire and Napster? That got regulated. And what did Reese just say is going to happen to this whole entire NFT and crypto space? It's going to get regulated, right? When LimeWire and Napster got regulated, it went from the Wild Wild West into premium licensed musical digital collections, premium licensed digital music collections. So the same thing's going to happen with digital collectibles, I believe. Once it all gets regulated, the norm, the standard is going to be premium licensed digital collectibles from your favorite brands of all time. Now, there's probably going to be other platforms that pop up along the way who do like similar stuff, right? Kind of like Pandora, kind of like Spotify. There's going to be other Apple Musics out there, but there's going to be one that the majority of the people use. Same with social media. There's Instagram, right? There's Twitter, there's Snapchat, Facebook, there was MySpace, there was Vine. There's tons of other social medias out there. Like YouTube, there's other video channels out there, but people use YouTube the most. I believe that's going to be what VeVe is. It's just crazy how it's very sof to how industries happen, because you're taking a physical industry and digitizing it. The same thing that's happening right now. Really, one of the main differences is that 5-minute warning. Let's go. One of the biggest differences is that was unlimited digital music. So there wasn't one of 100 Drake songs. It was unlimited for $9.99. Imagine if that was now one of 100. That's the game changer right there. Because now you can actually, well, that and the plus of blockchain to where you can prove that you own it. That is the game-changing revolutionary aspect of technology that we didn't have before. Now we have the blockchain, we have the technology that, kept up with it, updated with it. Now we can prove ownership digitally where we couldn't have before. That's a leap in technology that's revolutionary if you think about it. We've never had a way to prove ownership of something digitally, to authenticate something digitally. But now we do. And now we can have digital collectibles, what I think will just be the very beginning. People have talked about this all the time. This isn't just me. This is just people in this whole entire space. They see where it's going. They see that houses one day will be sold on the blockchain. Why? Because it's frictionless. And you get to prove ownership instantly. All kinds of things I think will use that blockchain technology. Superstar money in the house. Let me get to some of these. I got caught up on a couple of tangents there. Azuka Verse, up dude. Good luck on the drop, my guy, and to everyone else watching too. Good luck to everybody. Financially, the comics are the better bet for sure, in my opinion. And nothing wrong with that. A lot of these comics are so cheap too right now, to where, I mean, I know it's not completely relatable, like to mimic it 100%. But I think the demand digitally will outgrow the demand for the physical. And I say that because it's frictionless. Now everybody with a cell phone is a collector. I wasn't a collector before this. I mean, I was, but I wasn't. I wasn't going to go out of my way to go find a store, that had a comic book to go get it graded. Now people can literally collect their favorite comic books digitally, and it's licensed by the real actual licensor, Marvel. So, I mean, you can get Amazing Spider-Man #1 for what, $70 right now? Crazy. I think they're both good bets. Dino Lang, sub VeVe fam. End of April means May the 4th be with us. JD, you think we get Star Wars? Man. Oh, man, Dino. You got to let me know what it is, too. I think of Dino because of Dino eggs. But I want to say Dino every time. Man. That's kind of what everyone's thinking right now. May 4th, we get Star Wars. We have 2 minutes and 10 seconds to drop, everybody. Oh, man. I do think we're going to get Star Wars sometime this year. I would love for it to be May 4th. But at the same time, I've been thinking about this. Taps made a great point on the video last night about this with Taps, Reese, and Quinn. I think Taps was saying maybe they save some bigger drops until the website is like solidified because they would get more publicity that way. Once people can withdraw and everything, I think they will save some of these big, huge drops for that. If we do see more Star Wars, I don't think we're going to see Darth Vader. I think stuff like that big will be once the website's here and it's like solidified, and the new drop system's here. But maybe I'm wrong because they dropped Walt Disney on us, right? So I don't know, Dino. Man, I don't know if we're all ready if they do. If you're ready for Star Wars, man, or Darth Vader, man, shout out to you because I think you'll be probably one of the few that are actually ready. Yeah, absolutely. I think this is awesome too, real talk. We got a minute, 5 seconds. I'm going to get to a lot more of this chat. So many people that I did not get to. I'm going to get to more right after this drop. Coffee Gate, 55 seconds. I feel like this one's not as... The adrenaline hasn't been pumping lately. I am going to record this one again just in case anything crazy happens. Like last time. We're going to back out. Timer's all good now. Again, guys, it's going to pop up right above the notify me. I didn't go over the drop strategy today. Right below the description box. Again, I think this one is going to be something you don't have to time perfectly. I'm actually not even going to time this one perfectly. That's a lie. Actually, I'm going to stay in the same routine. I don't like to mess up my routine. But I feel like my adrenaline's not pumping as much right now. I still have sweaty hands, though. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I know. A little late today, but I'm just going to pass on this one. I went back. I could get a second one, or I could get it again. Yeah, I'm not going to confirm this one. I'm just going to pass on this one. But shout out to everyone who get it. I want to see if anyone gets any ultra rares today. Let's see how quick it sells out too. All right, so I could still get one, but I'm not. I'm just going to exit out. I got to capture this time. Let me do the capture here. We got boats. I can still get them. So it looks like it's not selling. I got capture again. I'm just going to save my gems for this one. I'm going to scroll down real quick, see if I get any, see if there's any ultra rares. Johnny Dunn, don't think the Vader. It's Dino. Okay, cool. Dino says he's ready. Man, if Darth Vader drops Dino, I'm going to lose my mind. Like, I wasn't even the biggest Star Wars fan, but once VeVe released Disney and VeVe says they got Star Wars, I became a Star Wars fan. It's one of those things where I knew that was going to happen too. Like, even comic books, I never was huge into comic books. I said, I bet if VeVe released comic books, though, I'd start getting into comics. And that's exactly what happened. Let me try to just get through some of these chats where I left off from real quick. I think if we see Star Wars again, I just have a feeling they're going to wait until Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, like the new drop system, Master Collector program, the websites here. Maybe I'm wrong on that, though. Maybe they drop it May 4th. May the 4th be with us, right? Taps made a good point last night about SW. The episode 4 release anniversary is later in May. They could time a new Star Wars release with that. Ooh. So it's later in May. Maybe they do that, yeah. And I bet later in May, the website may be a little bit more finished. I don't know. I think hopefully they're trying to get it worked on for that, because I just feel like, I think Tap's the one who said it too. Maybe they wait until the website's a little bit more finished, because I think he is right about that. They would get a lot more publicity when they have the MTL and the KYC, the websites here, and then they release the first appearance of Darth Vader. Like, but I mean, who knows? Because we've been blessed already. Last November, we saw Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse in the same collectible. So, like, when people ask me about that, I thought we did have Disney, but I was saying, I think back then, I think I was saying this at least. I think we have Disney, but I could see them releasing Disney collectibles once the website is finished, or once the app is a little bit more structured and solidified. But then we got Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. So who knows, man? Another safe bet, I believe, is just buy anything under serious retail, especially sold out drops. This is almost as good as getting the drops. I agree with this punch 100%. That's why I was grabbing a lot of Coca-Cola NFTs. First edition, the Starlight ones, just because it's half of retail right now. If I just stack them, first edition Coca-Cola, I know there's a decent amount of editions of them, but I think Coca-Cola will be one of the brands that allow interoperability first. Once the brands start letting them, I think it'll be one of the first brands that do. And all they have to do is get back to retail, and that's already a 2x from where it's at right now. And some of these, like the Toby, I bought some of my Tobies at $15, $16, and retail I think was $15. So, I mean, like a 4x, and we're like basically back at retail. So, I agree with that big time. Doctor Strange is dropping in May. I don't know. I've heard a lot of talks about Doctor Strange as well too. What do you hope for on the next Star Wars drop? Man. Obviously, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker would be my top two, but I think that's everybody's top two. I wonder if we'll start to see like vehicles from the Star Wars. because they have been kind of in that vehicle mode with the cars at least. So maybe that means maybe the vehicles, the crazy, you know, huge stuff. I don't know the names of them, but I know the vehicles in Star Wars are crazy. So maybe we see them. I did get an airdrop, Austin, so I'm getting one of those. I have the failure to control, so I'm getting one of them. Oh, bro, I'll be talking for like an hour on stream today. Too hard to contain in one comment. That's a fact right there, Dino. We'll have to link up sometime this week too when there's not a drop, and we'll get together and finally do an interview, talk, you know, VeVe and Chill type. I like that VeVe and Chill. That's a good good little username, I feel like, or title for YouTube video series or something like that. I think that's what Randy used, VeVe and Chill. I like that one. I spent more on VeVe collectibles than I spent on my wife. Oh no. Make sure the wife doesn't hear that one. And also, I mean, shout out to all the family, you know, everybody who's getting their whole family involved. I know a lot of people have gotten their wives into drops, their moms and dads into the drops and everything like that. I think it could be a fun experience for a lot of people. That's another way to look at it too, Chasing Sundays. Maybe the fact that it's a charity drop actually increases the likelihood of an airdrop. I don't know how that'll work. That's a good question, Sharon. I don't know about this, Rich Buddy. I feel like the ultra rare will do really well because one has the least amount of additions. And then also, I feel like I don't know how, because it's not licensed by Nike, but this is the first time we're seeing Nike shoes. What's going to happen when Nike license does release one day on VeVe and we get the Jordan shoes, right? I know that I would collect all the digital Jordans. I would try to at least. I know they're probably going to be crazy expensive. So maybe I just get my favorite ones. But can you imagine if we start seeing Nike and Jordan shoes? JD is the voice of reason and negates all doubt in your mind. Appreciate this, Mendez. You know, I'm not right about everything. You know, some things I am wrong about. And I'm not here to say I'm right about everything. You know, I am human as much as I say I'm alien, right? I just kind of believe that we're all half alien. That's why I always say I'm alien. I believe we're all kind of alien. But I do 100% fully believe this is, I don't know, Mendez, if you said this comment when I was going on about the same kind of transition digital music streaming will have or had, and the same transition that digital collecting will have. I am so confident in that to where I think about it all the time. I say it all the time because I truly believe it's the same exact transition taking place right now. That's why all my hashtags are premium licensed digital collectibles, because I truly believe that's digital collecting. I don't think NFT is going to be replaced. I think the word NFT will always be here. But kind of like, this may not be the best example because we don't use this word anymore, the internet highway. People literally used to call it the internet information highway and stuff like that. We just call it the internet or Google or whatever it is right now. I think digital collecting will be a word that replaces a lot of the words today. Like, what's your digital collection looking like? Or what's that digital collectible? It's just, it makes more sense to a lot of people as opposed to the word NFT. Now, NFT, I feel like the non-fungible token is more so geared towards the technology that has to do with the whole blockchain experience, which I think that technology will constantly be used and, you know, evolve from where it's at today. But I think digital collecting, we're so early that digital collecting hasn't become the standard yet. It hasn't become obvious yet. Digital collecting is still kind of weird. Like, you're a weirdo. People call me weirdo all the time for collecting these digital Batman. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess I am weird, right? I mean, we're all kind of a little weird. But people thought it was weird too when the first people were streaming music digitally. It's like, you can't even touch it. So you don't want to touch it, right? I had the best Walkman, the Sony underwater yellow one. Wow, I feel like I remember that. I don't know about the color, but I feel like there was a bunch of things that that were like rainproof or stuff like that. I feel like no matter what, though, all the Walkman eventually skipped a little bit, you know? One little scratch on the CD, got to burn another CD. My theory is I'm gonna try to collect. I mean, it depends. If these go under retail, I'm gonna get a few of these probably. I'm back in worth. I'm back and forth. I think you meant OpenSea is king by far. I mean, it depends on your perspective, Rich Buddy. I mean, OpenSea is great for numerous reasons, right? You know, anytime I talk about this, I don't want people to feel like I'm putting down OpenSea. I think OpenSea serves its purpose. You know, OpenSea has a purpose. So many independent artists out there. Like, look at It's Wonderful, right? Amazing music creator, right? Amazing musician. Now, because of OpenSea, and there's other different platforms out there, but just using an example, OpenSea is one of them. He can now, you know, make money, make a living through his art. It kind of eliminates that middleman. So OpenSea definitely, you know, is important. You know, a huge innovator in the space. I would say OpenSea will forever be a pioneer in the space because it's kind of like Napster and LimeWire. They're going to forever be a pioneer, whether it was good or bad, in the whole digital music space because they were one of the first ones to do it. And I think OpenSea will continue to evolve. I don't think it'll always be something like LimeWire and Napster where it's going to go away. Maybe they do adapt and kind of revitalize and upgrade along with the times and adapt and continue to be here and survive. I just think what's on OpenSea right now is just a lot of everything, meaning they have some good stuff, you know, amazing independent artists. They have some quality projects on there. But overall, they just have everything, a lot of good and a lot of bad. So I believe once that gets regulated, a lot of the attention will start to focus on premium licensed digital collectibles. Whether some of them go to OpenSea or maybe it's another app or another platform, I just believe VeVe will be the number one mecca. And that's okay too, because there's going to be other platforms that survive and do well. So I always talk about this too. If you like other platforms, if you find something that interests you on another platform, just because you're in VeVe doesn't mean you can't do this or that. You know, imagine having a couple, you know, stocks of Adidas and you believe Nike was going to be the number one clothing brand, but you wanted to get a couple stocks in Adidas. There's nothing wrong with that. I just believe that VeVe is going to be number one. It's my favorite one, so I talk about VeVe nonstop. Even when I don't go for the drops, you still see me live streaming. I'm always going to make VeVe content. You know, VeVe is my baby. I've turned down a lot of opportunities just to do VeVe content because it's what I love, you know. But I think that's where a lot of the misconception comes from, just because I love VeVe so much. I think a lot of people that are maybe into other projects too find that a little bit defensive almost. But again, I feel like the more people get into digital collecting as a whole, the better it is for the entire space. I want everybody to get into digital collecting. Find the platforms you like, because the more people that do, it's going to benefit the entire space, I think. It's going to help people realize this isn't a fad. This is the next evolution of collecting. Truly revolutionary. ETH is king. I do love Ethereum. I think ETH will be huge long term. DG Vet. Like the crown, buddy. Let's go. Yeah, I see you got here. Let's go. What are these called? These are the My Collectibles has a profile picture NFT project right now. These are called the drop heads. Let's go. I like the drop head. Bro, I'm talking Star Wars again because I can't resist. So you're a huge Star Wars fan, huh? I think Star Wars has passionate fans, passionate collectors. Probably the most passionate, loyal fan base I've ever seen. Besides maybe Philly sports teams, you know. But I would say Star Wars, you know, fans, Star Wars, you know, collectors, anything that drops is going to be huge. Oh, awesome. So DG Vet won the drop head. Let's go. Shout out to DG Vet. Just popping in. Good luck, guys. Shout out to December. Anybody get the ultra rare from today? I'm going to try to catch up. Sorry if I don't get to your comments. Here we go. Yeah, Rich Buddy, I kind of just wanted to see how it went on the drop today, see if it was going to be an easy one to get. 969 common, good mint there, Jackal. 2 rares. That Bart, super rare. Secret rare are going to be worth big bucks. See, I was interested. I'm not sure how the secret rare is going to be, Rich Buddy. I'm hoping it's going to do well just because I do have it. I want to see the airdrops do well for everyone. I didn't think I'm going to sell it, though. I think I'm just going to hold on to the secret rare. But there's 5,000 editions. So what? I was just interested. I think long term it's going to do well. But in the short term, what makes you think it's going to do well right away? Just because people can't buy it? I hope you're right. I was interested about that one. Because I wasn't sure if people were just going to kind of sell it right away because it was a free collectible, or if people are going to value that, you know? Miss Rose got a secret none today. Win, Rare Karina. Shout out to Pineapple Gang, too. He just made a song. Anytime I hear the word Karina now, I think of his song that he made. May 25th is huge, too. Okay, so, Dino, maybe I'm thinking the 25th is more likely we get maybe a Darth Vader or Star Wars. Because I feel like if it was May 5th, it would be insane shock, you know? I mean, to the market, to the community. I feel like the anticipation, I think we're almost getting out of this little like FUD tension cycle right now. At least what it feels like to me. I hope I'm right, and I hope I'm not wrong about that. But that's what it feels like to me. So I feel like May 5th would be just a tad too soon. By May 25th, I think maybe a lot of positive things could have happened by then. Catalysts, some minor catalysts to where at least the energy in the community is a little bit more uplifted. Late to the party. Happy Easter, champ. You're never late, Johnny. Appreciate you big time, Johnny West Coast. Happy Easter to you and the fam as well. Ooh, okay. Maybe maybe 25th is the planned date then. I don't know. Shooter stopped after 5. You deserve another ultra rare. I went skip gate. That's hilarious. We got a skip gate. Shout out to whoever made up skip gate. That's a good one. They need the market to come back before they drop new Star Wars. And I think the market will come back. I think we're just waiting on some major catalyst. The web app is going to be a huge game changer. Then the KYC, I think, is going to help eliminate a lot of issues as well. I think a lot of people, me included, are anticipating, waiting for that. Then we get the MTL cash out here. Then that's when maybe a little temporary dip just because people can cash out. But I think that's going to help so many people believe in VeVe. People didn't even believe that a testing beta was going on with MTL. But it 100% was going on. Just nobody was really coming out and saying they have the MTL, so people actually didn't even believe it was happening. But 100% it was happening. This is the other battle, right? It's like, this is why it's been such a blessing, right? To be able to collect Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Disney NFTs, you know, Marvel Mighties, everything that we've gotten right now. It's been a blessing because imagine, all right, ready? There's two ways it can happen. You can find VeVe early and capitalize on these huge opportunities that we're being blessed with almost every day. But you have to deal with the ups and downs, you know, things not being perfect right now, delays, maybe some more obstacles. You got to deal with the pros and the cons of being early, right? Or vice versa. Would you rather be late to this, join when it's season 10? The web app's been here for a couple of years. You know, the MTL has been here for a couple of years. Everybody's on VeVe. We have, you know, 30 million active monthly users, probably 50 million by then. And the room for opportunity is just not here. You're lucky if you can rent out a collectible. You're lucky if you can get one drop. But everything's running smooth. So the VeVeverse is here. Everything's good, but you don't so you have to take the good with the bad and everything. Would you rather be late to something and have everything be smooth, perfect, but there's no opportunity? Or would you rather be here for the, you know, ground floor of something what I believe is going to be the next Amazon? If you don't believe it's going to be that big, that's okay too. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinions. But I truly believe that VeVe is going to be the biggest company in the world, if not one of the biggest companies in the entire world. I truly believe that. It's just not going to happen overnight. That's the problem. A lot of times when people say these predictions, maybe they get their hopes up. It's going to happen in the next year. Things don't happen instantly, but long term, I truly believe we're going to look back at these days, season 1, season 2, season 3, and just not even believe we were actually here for that, because it's going to be totally different. If you look at the app right now, if you go to your profile, you know, you got the store tab, you got the collection tab, feed tab, market tab, profile. Go to your profile tab. Look at the very bottom, right below the My QR code, the settings, the sign out. Right below that, you see version, right? What version are we on right now in the app? Version 1.0, 1.0.595. We're on version 1.0 of the VeVe app still. That's unbelievable. Think of how much it's grown. And we're still on version 1. That's why I said this is pretty much beta still. So gotta get back to breakfast with the fam. Peace, VeVe fam. Johnny boy, take it easy. Appreciate you big time for coming in today. Have a good rest of the holiday. They still sold out in 3 minutes. Let's go. That's a good sign right there. So, I mean, just because it's not an instant second sellout doesn't mean it's not valuable, So we got the Deadbeats street print going tomorrow, but that's just going to be an airdrop. Rare 4K and ultra rare 453. You won today, James. Let's go. That's big right there. Wow. Looks like it sold out quicker for some people than others. So weird. Oh, maybe you just had to go back. Isn't that weird that it said sold out, but then you went back and said it's not sold out? Interesting. Drop heads or fire. Shout out to My Collectibles. I think that's an awesome looking project. I think people are excited about it. Shout out to him. I like to see the creativity. This drop doesn't help with the FUD. I agree, Monte. It doesn't help with the FUD, but again, this is a drop for the collectors, the people who want the Matt Gondek artwork, The thing about VeVe is they're going to have something for everybody. So every single drop won't be your secret rare Spider-Man type drop, right? It's not going to be like that every single time. It's going to be, one drop, super crazy valuable, 1 of 100 rare type drop. The next day, it may be something that everybody fun can get. Maybe it's a comic book with 70,000 editions again. Then the next day, maybe they switch it up and now it's a Darth Vader drop. So I think they're going to always switch it up. It's not going to just be one type of drop. But because of that, when you're dealing with the micro FUD of everything else, drops aren't selling out. VeVe's done. VeVe lost momentum. When they drop something that may not be the most valuable, most demand, and it doesn't sell out, it can kind of add to that FUD. But again, it's just in the short-term micro. Marvel Comics #1 went under retail. $2. The DeLorean Common went down to $3 before. Batgirl, Catwoman, they never sold out. It took weeks, months to sell out. So it's just in the short term. I truly believe things that are under retail won't always stay under retail. Might be right, Miss Rose. Might be right. I feel like it all just depends on how low the people are willing to let go of the free collectible. Kind of made me think, because it is a free airdrop, people will just take any kind of gems for it. But I'm probably gonna hold on to mine. Oh, it's coming up with new gates. I love it. That's part of the fun. Especially for me. I mean, that's I think for the community likes to have fun with that. So I think for you guys, keep coming up with all different types of gates. We got Coffee Gate, all kinds of stuff. Just makes it a little bit more fun. Just makes it kind of funny. When is the web coming out for VeVe? Gary Lamoda asked. So they touched on this. Shout out to Taps and Reese. They just did an amazing AMA not too long ago. So I don't know the time frame. I think they said it in that video. I would go to Taps Trade's YouTube channel and rewatch that video and see what he has to say. I don't know the exact time frame, and I don't want to give it out and misquote him and say something wrong. But the game plan is it is coming in a little bit. That's my new soon word. But here's the strategy. Here's the game plan or roadmap. Ready? We're gonna have the VeVe web app. Then we're gonna roll out KYC for everybody. Then we're gonna have the MTO. So the web app's the first thing that's going to come. I believe it's in testing phase right now, so it's pretty much finished almost. If I was to guess, I'm going to say in the next couple to few weeks. Yeah, I would say that. But maybe I'm wrong on that time frame, so don't hold me to that. I would have to rewatch that video. But I'm pretty sure. MBZ, what's going on? Big JD, how we doing, fam? Just dropping in to show some love, brother. Appreciate you big time, MBZ. How we doing the drop? Did you go for the drop today? I do love Matt's artwork, but I thought a drop price of 40 gems would be better. I could see that, Miss Rose. I could see this one being about 40 gems. And that's the other thing too. They're learning. They're still trying to do things to where they might, have a different price point for the next ones in the future. Every single drop, they're still learning. So good to see this feedback from a lot of people. I think a lot of people have said this too. Maybe for some of these artist collectibles, maybe we make the retail price a little bit lower than what some of them have been before. I think we saw that with maybe was it Matt Gondek's $200 poster? I think people were wishing that was more like $100. What is the Easter egg that the artist tweeted that you can find? I'm not sure about this, Michael Gordon. What did Matt Gondek tweet about this? Did he say that there was a Easter egg? Was it the FA Nike? Was it the Nike shoes he's referring to? Oh, you're right. 20 minutes ago. Thank you, everyone. Now let's see who's the first to discover the Easter egg. Oh. So, wow, Matt Gondek just confirmed it's not the Nike shoes. Wow, okay. So what is this? We got Easter egg to find. Let me know if anyone finds it. Good morning, JD. Woke up late, partying too hard. Thought I missed the drop, but I guess not. Katsu Machu. Appreciate you big time for tuning in today. Happy Easter. Happy holidays. Hopefully you're not too hopefully you're hydrated up today. Matt Gondek said there's an Easter egg for this drop, for these collectibles. Wondering what it is. I wonder if it's if you have all of them. You get some kind of like animation or something. They move together. I think you can still buy now. Yep, you can still buy now. Shout out to Kelvin. I'm not sure if Kelvin's in the building today or not, but I just saw the name of the secret rare is Melvin. Reminded me of what he said the other day. He said, Kelvin's getting a Melvin. Started laughing. I thought that was great. Let's check it out, Shooter. Shooter, I don't see your Twitter message. See, Monte, I kind of disagree with this one just because I feel like Matt Gondek, I can understand where your frustration comes from. The weapons are at different color. But he did say that. Let me show you what he said just to kind of help clear that up. Because somebody asked him about this before the drop even happened. They said, Matt, are you going to have the same character in different poses or colors? And he said, no, I forget the words he used. That's weak. So he said, it's not one character in different poses. That's weak. I guess he was getting that question a lot. So I feel like he really wanted to, wow. Shout out to Gary from the community. He just got a 152 ultra rare. Let's go. But I feel like, to answer this question, Mate, I feel like Matt Gondek kind of doesn't want to make it just a different pose of a character, a different colorway. So I feel like that's why for this one, he really wanted to make different characters. I don't think it's a backwards Nike sign. I think it's a real Nike sign, MBZ. Doesn't that look like the real Nike sign? That one's backwards. It's like on the outside. No, it's weird. All right, so the right shoe outside is backwards. The right shoe inside is the right way. The left shoe inside is backwards. The left shoe outside is the right way. Strange. I wonder if that is the Nike sign for real, or they had to switch it up a little bit to make sure it wasn't. Really interesting to see how that works. MBZ, I'm not too sure about this one. I think long term it's going to be solid, but I think short term it may not do the best right away. Long term, I don't think it's going to be an issue, but short term, I think people are just trying to gear up on gems right now and excited for maybe bigger drops that they're more into. But this will be set 85. Then wow, let's go energy. I was getting to 100. You gotta let me know when you hit 100 or when you're close, like 98, 99. He did tweet that. I'm pumped. Let's go. Got an uncommon ultra rare. Shout out to anyone who else got an ultra rare today. Oh, here we go. Wow. Shooter's just crushing it. You got two ultra rares today. What are the chances? A 104. Holy cow, man. Shooter had a day. Shooter, what a day, man. Don't even have to go for rebounds, and you absolutely crushed it today. Shout out to you. Just got two ultra rares. One's a 104, I think. I don't know. Crazy low mint. Definitely well deserved, man. Shout out to you. Shooter. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm kidding. Matt said all his NFTs will have utilities. Ooh. Let's go. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen with a lot of these artist collectibles. I do see that the artist NFTs, these artist collectibles, will probably provide the most customization, utility, airdrop stuff because it's only the one person you have to deal with. It's only the one artist. Interoperability will be first. I think Reese even touched on this a little bit. When you're dealing with these big licensors, the big brands, I mean, they have every incentive to have as much utility as possible, right? But longer term. Like when I think of the Disney Golden Moments, I think anybody collecting them is kind of hoping for like one day free Disney pass for all those, right? Or something like that. I think that stuff will be a long-term vision, a long-term goal. I think in the short term, a lot of these artist collectibles will probably provide the most utility, most kind of customization, upgrades, all that kind of stuff. Market's open already. Let's go. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think these will be huge on OpenSea. The interoperability for these artist stuff is going to be crazy, I think. All right, let's take a look. Fam, we got Matt going for 25. We got Aaron going for 29. We got Karina going for 35. We got Andy going for 115. This is the ultra rare, I believe, right? Yeah. So about a 2x. I said 2x, 3x. Obviously, we don't have the secret rare. Right? Secret rare is not going to be delivered just yet, I don't think. Yeah, it's not delivered yet. They said in a couple days, so. right now, Monte, it's kind of like a hard battle because they want enough editions to where people can get their favorite collectible, whether that's an artist collectible, a big brand collectible. They want people to be able to collect and get it, but yet at the same time, they want to keep it a collectible, have that collectiveness to it to make it somewhat scarce. It's a hard battle to meet because especially with the drop system right now, if they only made 1,000 total of editions, nobody would be able to get it. People would be complaining, fix the drop system, fix this, fix that. When new drop system, but then they make it to where most people can grab it, but then they'll say it's not valuable. So it's just a hard dynamic, I feel like, to meet. The new drop system, I feel like, could help that, excuse me. But then again, some people aren't excited for the new drop system. So I don't know. I just want to have everybody in the community happy and, all about it. And whatever that's going to take, I hope it happens. I think the new drop system will help a lot of people's morale, I feel like. Plus, they're going to reward collectors right now. If you guys have been struggling on the drops, obviously before the last few that have been not instant sellouts, and you want to kind of gear up for the new drop system, that's when the Master Collector program, the OMA utility program, I believe will help out big time. So maybe start thinking about Master Collector program points, whether that's rare comics that give you 2 points a day. Some rare comics are literally like $15. Now, I think it's important not just to collect everything for the MCP program, but I think maybe a combination of both will leave you in a good position when that does happen. VeVe leaves that to the artist to decide all that. Well, they discuss it with the artist, I believe, the same way with the licensors, but at the end of the day, pretty sure David has his last say. He's talked about this in AMAs to where, they're constantly discussing, edition counts and all kinds of things. They talk to the artists. They talk to the licensors, when they talk about maybe it's a new Batman Black and White series. They'll talk to the licensors, how many do you usually sell in the physical world? And they try to meet the needs with the digital world on the VeVe app. So I don't think the artist has the final say. I'm pretty sure David has the final say, but they definitely do talk to the artist about, their perception, how they want to kind of go about things, because it is their artwork at the end of the day too. They got to come to an agreement. I'm heavily invested in VeVe. Good to know, Monte Martinez. I think the Easter egg is the arrows pointing down on some of them. What will it reveal? That makes me think it's the shoes, but he just came out and said it's not the shoes. You're right. Speaking of the arrows, look on the Deadbeats right here. This poster that's dropping, it has an arrow right above one of them, which is kind of strange, right? The arrows are all over the place. You're right about this. I wonder what the arrows mean. You know what I'm thinking? We have Bart's skull, right? And this whole thing is about deconstructing, right? Deconstructive. What if, like, collecting all of these, like all of his artwork will give you the body to Bart, and the arrows like pointing down, basically like keep going or something? I don't know. Like maybe if you get all the collectibles in the set, the next airdrop will be like Bart's body deconstructed, and then Homer. I don't know. What do you guys think? Wow, super happy. Got 2 or 3. Wow, ultra rare. Let's go. Punch absolutely crushed it today. A couple of people crushed it. Shooter had 2 ultra rares. Where did he say this, Matt? Or Keisha Davis? Matt said all his NFTs will have utilities. Where did Matt say this? On Twitter? I'll try to find it. Or was it like in the spaces or something like that? Someone just tweeted, did I miss something? Why are comics pumping? Things gonna pump at any moment, fam. There's such a low supply on a lot of these to where so many people are just stacking up gems right now. It only takes one day to just go and swoop things up and really change the price. Oh, the secret rare will be in some days. Yep. Secret rare is going to be, I think, coming to our collection in another day or two. They said a couple of days. Let's go. Zero Cool just said there will be haters, there will be doubters, there will be non-believers, then there will be you proving them wrong. Let's go. Shout out to Brock. Brock just said, you guys really like to play to earn, huh? Okay, fine. Maybe the fish, Brock's project on OpenSea, maybe the fish are the first play to earn game. That would be interesting to see. Shout out to Sam Ellis, got the ultra rare. What collectible don't you have that you want to pick up? Great question, Alex. Let me see here. Great question here. Great question. I would say maybe one of the OG ones, because there was a point in time where I wanted to collect every season one set, but I wasn't able to. So it's kind of past on my goals now. But I would still like to have them in my collection. It's pretty expensive now to the point where once I get up to the amount to afford it, I'd probably rather just hold on to the gems for future drops. But it's one that I wish I did have in my collection. And every time I think of this, I think of Claire. Shout out to Claire. Claire's an OG, one of the best VeVe photographers. I don't know if that's a word yet, VeVe photographer, but that'll definitely be like a title in the future, I believe. And she's probably one of the best. Been doing it for the longest been here since the beginning. Let me try to find it. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. The whole set, actually, I would like to have. Here it is. Harley Quinn, red and black, series 1. Let's go. I only have a couple of these from the first series. I think this is one of the best looking sets, to be honest. I don't know what it is, but this is my favorite Harley Quinn right here. One of my favorite looking Harley Quinns on the app. This is only have one of these. Just gonna be holding on to it. And I have one of the other uncommons. Odd set because there's no commons. These two are uncommons. This is the rare, and then that's the ultra rare. I don't even have the Terry Dobson right now. Extremely limited collectible from season 1. I think that's a great collectible to get. But I would say maybe the Steve Pugh Harley Quinn. This is one that Claire has. This is probably one of her favorite collectibles too. I don't know if it's still her favorite, but it used to be. This is one I don't have, and I've always wanted it from season 1. FA baseball bat. Yeah, Harley Quinn, Steve Pugh. Such a limited amount too. Only total of 500 editions of these. And another reason why I love this set even more now is just because these are first editions. And we know now that we won't ever see another FE collectible type of like a superhero character type thing. Why does the one tomorrow say sold out? So Gary, I'm pretty sure this. I'm not sure why that one says sold out, but it's just because you can't buy it in the store. That's going to be the airdrop for tomorrow. But it is odd that they have a timer countdown and everything for it. Because it says, edition 0 of 1,115 remaining. Because that's part of the airdrop. Anybody who has the full set of the weapons rack will be getting this one. I'm going to write a comment. Shout out to all the holders. That's another thing, too. I mean, just write in the comments. That's another way to grow your VeVe following. Just on all the collectible comments, just write something. Don't spam it. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Shooter says, I found the Easter egg. Uh-oh. What is it, Shooter? Do you want to say it on the chat or you want to DM me? Wait, how you get it? It's kind of funny. You think that's what it is? On the spray can? Shooter, write a DM or not a DM. Tweet that out and tag Matt Gondek and see if that's what it is. I'm going to try to read up closely on the spray can. How can you read that? It's so blurry. I have this really stupid joke. That's all I can read. Man, how did you end up reading that, Shooter? That's crazy good vision. Look how close I am with my glasses on. I can't even see that. I'm going to see. Let's see. I just gave it a favorite. Let's see if that's what it is. How do you get the airdrop tomorrow? So, Gary, I think it's too late right now. They've already taken their snapshot. Let me read out the tweet from VeVe. This is maybe prepare you for a future airdrop from maybe another artist. So I believe that they're going to continue to reward collectors by giving airdrops to complete set holders. So this is what VeVe just tweeted a little bit ago. Street print poster of the 4 Deadbeats, Aaron, Andy, Karina, and Matt. As a thank you to collectors, this edition will be gifted to holders of the full set of weapon racks. At the time of the snapshot taken Saturday the 9th at 11:59 p.m. So if you had the full weapons rack set before they took the screenshot or snapshot, then you're going to be getting one of these. And same with the failure to control from Matt Gondek. If you were holding on to that poster, then you're going to be getting one of the secret rares from today. Someone said FA Nike shoes. Person responded FA lawsuit. I only bought one. I hit the ultra rare. Wow. Frank, that's the way to do it right there. Only went for one of them. Got the ultra rare. And it was a low mint. Shout out to Frank. Sabaka. I want to know if this is it, Shooter. If that's the Easter egg or not. If he responds to you, let me know. Because that might be it. I think that could be it. That's a great call right there. Shooter, if this is it, once we can send NFTs to people, I'm going to send you a comic book as a giveaway for winning the Matt Gondek Easter egg. I just want to figure out what it is now. Not knowing is leaving me feeling like I could read that part. I couldn't read the whole beginning part. Could you read the whole thing or no? You could only make out the very end of it. I don't even know how you made out the end of it. So hard to read. So you can zoom up. You're not going to be able to read it from here, but that's actually pretty clear. You can always zoom in on the art itself, on the app. It's on Karina. Karina Shy but Deadly. Rise from Pineapple Gang song. One more time, shout out to Taps, Randy, and Corinne. If you guys haven't watched that full video, I did leave the link in the description of this video. You can always tune in. Hopefully I get on Randy's channel, another time, link back up. Whenever we link back up, or just a couple of us or a few of us, who knows. But definitely want to link back up with all of them. Can't believe the internet literally went out. After having amazing internet too for all this time. But that's a trick. If anytime you guys have any kind of issues like that, just restart your router, modem, and things should work. I wonder if there's an Easter egg on the secret rare. That's kind of what I was thinking. I thought maybe we just got rewarded for having the first sets. Imagine the full set holders of all these now get rest of Bart's body, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like he gives it to you deconstructed, and then you put it back together for the full holders. Wow. Would you rather have a few grails or no grails with a bunch of completed sets? I guess this goes into that debate, Alex, of grails or MCP points, right? We touched on it a little bit earlier on in this video. Grails are kind of, it's up in the air still, technically, what a grail is. It can always change. We have in our heads right now what we think are grails. But Corinne touched on it. It only takes a little bit of utility to be in a game. And grails, as we know, it could be something that's very cheap right now. So I feel like it could depend. I'd rather go maybe a little bit of both. Maybe if you can have some grails and some completed sets, so you do have some MCP points. But again, you're going to be rewarded retroactively too. So you get to complete one new set, you get 100 bonus points right away. Boom. Then you get those daily accruing points every day you're holding them. It's that point right there got me even thinking about, okay, maybe I just complete a bunch of sets, get those 100 extra bonus points, then start selling off the sets as I don't love the ones that I brought on, and kind of swap those for more grails. Kind of like what Energy was doing. He's up to 85 sets. I thought about doing this, trying to hit that 100, maybe get the rewards that come with hitting 100 sets, and then kind of selling them off as more and more sets come that you like. So many different ways to play, and nobody knows the exact right answer right now. So we're all kind of playing things by ear, kind of collecting what you love, but kind of having a game plan too. The other thing is too, game plans can change, right? VeVe is a never-ending changing beast. It's always changing. You got to adapt with it as it grows. So I would say I would lean more grails, Alex. And maybe try to add in some MCP points, like some cheap ultra rare comics, secret rare comics, to make up for some of those completed sets, maybe. Ooh, the rare has a ticket stub on the right. Excuse me, shoulder saying He'll admit one or hell admit one. Utility is you get a ticket to hell. Good morning, Gary. How we doing, fam? Gary, you had an amazing drop today. I just retweeted. Shout out to Gary. Let me look at this. All right, so you're saying the rare has a ticket stub on the right. Karina's got all the Easter eggs, huh? Where's the tickets? Oh, on the right shoulder. What's the ticket number? I can't see the number on the ticket. There's another collectible that VeVe has that has a lottery ticket on it. And I don't have it right now. Wow, that's interesting, though. That does have a lottery ticket on the right shoulder. Maybe, you get a ticket to the next drop. Ticket to hell. Maybe it's a ticket and you have to have the Karina ticket to get to the next drop. Wow. See, that's fun stuff that would be awesome to see. Because it's kind of like being rewarded to have a exclusive drop for these holders only. Tell me that the top of the spray can doesn't look like you'd be able to press that down too. You guys might be right. What a great eye this was, Mirestone Ranch. Mirestone Ranch is like going all out detective right now. I love to see it. Wow, and it's like a hidden lottery ticket too, it looks like. Because it's not out in the open on the front of her shirt or anything like that. It's definitely hidden. I would say Shooter or Mirestone might be ranch about, or might be ranch. Wow, might be right about these Easter eggs. Mirestone Ranch. Did you tweet out at Matt Gondek? What kind of emoji is that? Like you're not sure face? I would tweet out to Mac on deck. I know Shooter did. I feel like he would answer it if somebody gets it right. Maybe that's it. I would tweet out Mirestone Ranch and be like, "Is the Easter egg the hidden ticket on Karina? Maybe a ticket to the next drop?" Wow, Energy 284 ultra rare. Sleeping Comics. Sleeping is a genius. You guys definitely want to follow Sleeping Comics. Looks like he's cooking up a little something. He tweeted out, probably nothing. Oh, probably nothing. Just working on a mini game for the Marvel Mighties. Nothing at all. Just chilling. Let's go. I don't know what he's cooking up, but it looks pretty solid. It looks like some kind of mini game for the Marvel Mighties. Let's all tweet the artist and ask if the Easter egg is future utility. Let's not spam them. You have no Twitter. All right, maybe one person from, one person at a time. I don't want the whole live stream to spam them. But maybe one person can ask, Mirestone Ranch from YouTube is wondering if the lottery ticket on Karina is the Easter egg for admission to the future drop. This is what it says. Extremely hazardous. I have this stupid joke that doesn't translate well when you type it out. Yeah, I can't believe you could read all that. You know, when a chicken kind of makes a box sound. Can't believe it. It's a hard word to pronounce. The chicken sound. Shout out to Shooter for being able to make that out in the writing. So hard to read on the VeVe app. Like in the words so small. Is that animated? No, maybe not. Wait a second. It is. Wait, guys. Tell me you don't see this. This is just what the person tweeted. Look at this is Matt, right? Look at the spike bat. That's down low. Right? That's down low. That's Oscar 39195840 on Twitter. Right? That bat is down. Like he's holding it down. Now, I'm going to take a picture of this. Now look at what the bat is doing. Bat's up. I think this is animated. Is this not animated? See, isn't that weird? All right, so the bat's down in the image when you take a picture with an AR, right? But the bat's up in the image. These are going to animate. I wonder if the utility is if you collect the whole set and put them together, then it becomes animated or something. You can move them. That is strange, no? These are gamifiable or something. What do you guys think? Tell me that's not strange, right? I wonder if these are all slightly different when you look at them. Let me take a look. The paint roller guy looks pretty much the same. But the first one, Matt moved like his. Isn't that weird? Or is it just me? Karina looks the same. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ultra rare now. All right, so ultra rare looks the same. Can I even look at the secret rare yet? Yeah, I can. Let's see. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think that's a big deal, or do you think that's just not much at all? Ultra rare looks the same. So right now, the only one that's different, like look, if you look, it looks like Matt has the bat up high and he's animated like smashing down something, right? But then when you click, even here, he has the hand up high and he's smashing down. And now the bat's down low. I think what the utility might be or the Easter egg might be is if you have all these together or something like that, then you can start moving them. They become animated or something like that. Gamifiable. I'm not sure, but you can't click on it and move it. So I'm thinking, what do you guys think? I was hoping one would be animated. I think that's the Easter egg, Gary. As soon as I get my secret rare, I'm going to buy the ultra rares with all of them, maybe. Put them all together and see if they animate. Maybe I won't, but maybe I'll just clip this YouTube video and say, maybe I'm a true alien. But that's the only one that has a different thumbnail picture than the others. Maybe I just take a picture of both of them, and then I'll just tweet it out and say, Easter egg animation. I'm gonna put pictures. I'm gonna put the pictures side by side next to each other, and show you guys. Oh, they're different. Thumbnail. They're different. I'm asking a couple of people what their thought processes are, what their thoughts are on this. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just like maybe it's just like a, I'm gonna say like misprint on the thumbnail. I think it's some kind of Easter egg though. Shooter saying not animated. Katsumatsu said, I think it's animated though. Tagging you on Twitter with the video I just saw. Oh. Yeah, tag me in the video. Shooter. Or Katsumatsu. Whoa. Let's go. Wow, let's go. You're so right, Katsumatsu, 100%. Mark just tweeted it. You guys know Mark Hugh, right? You guys got to be following Mark. Mark just tweeted this. So look, found the Easter egg. The comment is animated. Let's go. I knew it. I knew it. That's crazy. Let's go. Wow. Let's go. Wow. It looked like that. How crazy is it? Wow. I'm so clipping this video. That was crazy. Shout out to Mark for finding that. Gary, yeah, Sanjay just said that. Basically, if you put the deadbeats next to the weapons rack. When one presses the arrow. That's why the arrows are so big. Wow. This live is going to be crazy to look back at this part. Why are those arrows so important? You guys all called it. Wow. How crazy is this? This is amazing. Let's go. Oh, Katsumatsu, I'm not even following you. That's why I wasn't getting any of them. I didn't see the video either. You may have to send the video again to me. Oh, wait, here we go. That's pretty sweet. Wow. Someone's asking, do you have to finish the set to unlock the animation? I don't think so. I think you just have to go up to the weapons rack, maybe. I'm not sure on this. Wow. So shout out to Mark. I think Mark was the first person to find it. Again, if you guys aren't following Mark HUYNH7 on Twitter. Also a YouTube creator, content creator. Let me see if I can bring up his YouTube real quick. Makes a bunch of YouTube VeVe content creation. So if you guys aren't following him, Mark HUYNH. Let's go. This is wild. That is awesome. What's your surname? Michael Simone? Michael Simon? Not sure why you're asking that. Why this dropped in sold out 2.5 million active users? Yeah, Jay. I mean, obviously, we're going to get some haters. Looks like you're one of them. I mean, it is what it is. They just came on and said it again. I touched on this, but I'll touch on it again. I think what's confusing a lot of people is maybe their criteria of what meets a monthly active user. And then maybe your criteria in your own head of what you think a monthly active user is. You're probably assuming a monthly active user is either someone who's buying constantly in the marketplace, etc. I'm pretty sure they said their criteria is just different. I don't know the exact criteria. That's why I'm not saying it right now, because I'm not sure what it is. But I think it's anyone who logs into the VeVe app in the last month, I think. So I think that's a fact, Jerry. A lot of people probably aren't. It is a holiday. Let's go. This is awesome. Shout out to everybody who was able to grab this one. I think it will be a fun collectible for a lot of people. I'm just glad my internet's working and I figured it out because that was actually bugging me out for a little while. Panicked last night. I think they're all animated, Michael Gordon. I'm not positive on this one because I don't have them, so I'm not sure. And I won't get that secret rare until tomorrow or in the next couple of days. But, I mean, buy now is still available. You can still buy them or pick them up under retail in the market. Definitely, see, I like this stuff. This is like a fun thing for a lot of collectors out there. That's a fact, Jerry. I'm not sure on this, Michael Gordon. The only reason why I said hater is because you said this comment right here that you don't believe there's 2.5 million active users just because the drop didn't sell out, right? I'm not sure if you were here, but Marvel Comics #1 never sold out. That took minutes to sell out, I should say. Batgirl, Catwoman, that took weeks to sell out. So just because something doesn't sell out right away, or even if it comes out cheap right away, doesn't mean it's not valuable. I saw Marvel Mighties go over to $3 once they got resold. Now they're over, $100, some of them. So I think things just take time sometimes. And things skyrocket right away. It all depends. But with all that being said, I will be signing out today. Look out for updates coming this week. Also, look out for new interviews this week. Let's go. Finally, about time. I mean, that is if my internet stays well. I think it is. I think I just had to reset everything. And for whatever reason, it cut out. I'm not sure why that happens, but just to put it out there, if anyone else deals with any kind of internet issues, just reset things. Usually that seems to work. So reset the modem, reset the router, whatever it is. Really, my mom did, but shout out to my mom. Yeah, smart way to make people go back to the weapons rack. Absolutely, Katsumachu. Jay saying he has the Marvel one secret rare, so why is he a hater? Again, I'm going to go back to the comment you said. The other reason why I'm saying you're a hater, my man, is just because you're saying the team's not telling the truth when the team is telling the truth about the amount of users we have. What the difference part is, the part that you may not understand is just that their criteria for active users may be just different than what you consider an active user is. But oh, we were just about to get off, but we got raided. Let's go. Shout out to the Lion Gators. We're getting raided by the Lions right now. We should go attack VeVe Vault right now and alien invade with the invasion. Should we go hit them? All right, let's go to VeVe Vault's live stream right now and invade VeVe Vault. Or maybe he just got off. Let me check real quick. Dino Lang's live right now. All right, should we take the Lion Gators? All right, Lion Gators. VeVe Vault, let's Lion Gate and alien invade Dino. What do you guys think? Team invasion? I don't see anyone else live. Is anyone else live right now? Let's head. What do you think, Vault? Should we go team up and do a Lion Gate alien invasion to Dino? Let's do it. All right. I'm going to sign off and I'm going to go to, guys, if you aren't familiar, go to Dino Lang. It's DinoLaing. Dino Lang is live right now. All right, guys, I'm signing off. I just wrote the first alien invasion UFO to Dino Lang. We're hopping into Dino Lang's YouTube channel right after I exit this, and we're going to alien invade, Lion Gate, Lion raid them, team invasion. All right, a bunch of alien emojis, lion emojis. I'm signing off, y'all. Till next time, it's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam. Alien invade, Dino Lang. Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys, take it easy, y'all.